manifesto currently ongoing at the university UPSA. Now in a bit we'll take you there, but before that we'll be looking at what we're likely to see in that manifesto and the 2016 manifesto, what was in there as well. So we'll be right back with more. Don't go away. So welcome back to City TV's live coverage of the 2020 NDC Manifesto launch. My name is Vivian Kai Loco. I'll be doing this today with Nathan Kwao, who's head of research here at City FM and City TV. Nathan, welcome.
Hi. Thank you.
Well, in the bit, we'll go to the grounds proper where the NDC is expected to launch its 2020 manifesto. Now, the NPP has done that a couple of weeks back at Cape Coast in the central region. We're looking forward to seeing what will be in this launch. I know I shouldn't be asking you this, what you're hoping to see in there, because, of course, the document is yet to be made public. But just let's look at the 2016 manifesto and whether it will be segueing into the 2020 manifesto. If you can run us through some of the highlights of the 2016 that caught our attention.
Well, in terms of the 2016 manifesto, the context was that the NDC was hoping to stay in power. It had been in power under John Mahama since 2012, and heading into that election was hoping that the electorate would give it one more try or one more term in office to see out its plan. So if you go through their documents or the manifesto, they had a number of things. For example, under economy, they were hoping to safeguard macroeconomic stability, keep inflation to single figures, and also use taxes and tariffs as the tools for industrial development. Now, if you remember, that caught the attention of the NPP, and in their manifesto, they criticized government hard for saying that they were going to tax people and all of that, and there was a better way of growing the country other than taxes. So,
leading to when they came into power, getting rid of what they call the nuisance taxes.
You remember correctly. So,
but before you go into that, I want us to look at that time, the theme for that manifesto, and I know they divided it into 4 segments, where the 4 looked at the critical sectors of the economy. So if you can run us first of all what that theme was and what that meant in terms of the theme and how they broke it down, then we'll look at each theme by its own standing.
Okay, all right. So the title of the NDC's manifesto in 2016 was called Changing Lives, Transforming Ghana. Changing Lives, Transforming Ghana. It caused a bit of an uproar. The NPP said the NDC had kind of stolen its theme from 4 years prior. So the NDC's 2016 manifesto was called Changing Lives, Transforming Ghana. It was an 80-page document. It was an 80-page document, which was quite small compared to the NPP's 150-plus page document. Very intense, very heavy document.
And even within that 180-page document, there were parts that said what they had done.
Yes.
And then, of course, the parts that spoke about,
So the NDC document was about 80 pages, some of which, or a good part of which, looked at what they had done and what they were going to do. Now, they put all their promises or plans into 4 broad areas. They called it, the first theme was putting people first. Putting people first. Now, under that, they covered areas like education, health sector, social protection, and related themes. And then the second theme was strong economy for jobs and transformation. That kind of answers itself. So they looked at the fiscal policy, you know, and then they looked at the things that would go to support that, taxation, all of it. Then the third theme was infrastructure for accelerated development, where they were looking at a number of things. Now, if you analyze their manifesto, this was the broadest part, and it was the part that had the most pages dedicated to, because they covered a number of things: water, power, roads,
all the utilities, and then the hard
infrastructure, sanitation, ICT, housing. All the big ticket items were found in this theme, and then they had transparent and accountable governance, looking at how they were going to strengthen democracy, fight corruption, deal with the things that came with democracy and governing a country. So those were the 4 broad themes under which the manifesto was all into
so if we can, let's start with the putting people first, the first part, which falls around health, education, the vulnerable people, among others. In terms of health, what was the key thing they were looking at, and How did that pan out?
Well, if you look at what they wanted to do, remember that in this time, the NDC had been trying to upgrade the health infrastructure. Remember, it was at that time when all these hospitals were built, and we later realized that we had about $1 billion or so locked in hospitals. So the drive really was to do more in terms of infrastructure. You know, so some of the things they wanted to do was put up more CHIPS compounds. They wanted to increase the number because around 2012 we were doing about triple digits, about 300, 400. They wanted to move the number upwards to deal with cases in rural areas or deal with healthcare delivery at that level. And then you had some of the big ticket works they wanted to do. One, they wanted to construct regional hospitals in places like Ashanti, Upper West, Upper East, Eastern and Western regions. They wanted to upgrade the Tema General Hospital.
That's right.
Now, you do know that some work was being done and it's still going on now as we talk about the Tema General Hospital. The NDC wanted to establish a National Infectious Diseases Center.
That's right.
That couldn't happen. But many years down the line, we have COVID. We had to respond. They wanted to support the cultivation of medicinal plants for export and for local remedies. They wanted to create a national sanitation authority. Now, that was quite telling. Because then, even until now, the matter of sanitation is still very important. We have an entire ministry dedicated and all of that. Right. So the NDC felt that in its second term, it would set up a body that would see to the sanitation needs of the country. It also wanted to upgrade, like I said, most of the health facilities, provide regions with a lot of those facilities, make sure that you had general health care. Remember that the UGMC and other things were put together in between 2012 2016 onwards. And so there was the intention that they would upgrade and move on to other things. Of course, there was this other huge promise. They wanted to reduce maternal and neonatal deaths by a further 50%, reduce malaria by 50%, and create more space for maternal and neonatal care in facilities. So all the facilities that existed then, the NDC wanted to make sure that if you were a pregnant mother and you went there, you would have great access to health, you will not die giving birth, your child would live. And it was high on the agenda. Of course, they couldn't win power, so they couldn't see a lot of these things through. So those are some of the things. Of course, they had other things in addition to all of that. They wanted to construct the Accra compost and recycling plants. They wanted to set up one in Kumasi. They wanted to complete the construction of the Mudor fecal treatment plants at Lavender Hill in Accra. So you found that while the NDC had this broad thing of health, they found linkages to other places like sanitation. So that's why in their manifesto they linked health and sanitation, and they had all these plans and all these ideas they wanted to implement in their second term.
We know the MPP in its manifesto 2016 also hammered again the free SHS thing. At the time for education, was there any key thing the NDC was pushing there, also hitting against this free SHS at the time?
Well, the first thing that would come to mind was that, if you remember, President Mahama then stated that he believed in making SHS progressively free, while the MPP's Nana Akufo-Addo felt that you could quickly implement that and get it rolling. So those were the divergent points. Everybody understood that SHS education had to be free. It was just a matter of who wanted it done at the time and who wanted it done later or progressively. That's what what John Mahama was saying.
I'll let you continue with your thoughts, but I want us to go to UPSA now, where we're picking the feed. Feed is ready, and let's see who is currently speaking. So let's go to UPSA, where the NDC is about to launch its manifesto for the year 2020.
Professor, my adorable running mate, Honorable Samuel Ofosu-Ampofo is our chairman, the Honorable Johnson Esiedun Ketia, General Secretary, members of the National Executive Committee, regional, constituency and branch executives of our great party, senior members and supporters, as well as our beautiful sympathizers out there. And to you, the millions watching us from across the country and the world, welcome to the University of Professional Studies Accra and to the launch of our 2020 manifesto, the much anticipated People's Manifesto. Today is our day. And soon, our national chairman will welcome all of you. But before we do that, let me invite Reverend Albert Opoti-Botwe to give us the opening prayer, after which we will bring you a video playback. Thank you very much for joining us this evening. Once again, you're all welcome.
God met Moses and he said, "What is in your hand?" Said, "Rod." And that rod became the miracle rod of God. Today, the manifesto shall be the miracle rod of God. Our strength shall rise. Thy grace, thy word, oh, and the glory of the winning oh, yet I was here and Sado, ye Sando. Let the people of Ghana say, if it has not been for the Lord on our side, where would we have been? For it is by thee, O Lord, we have run through the year. COVID and violence and all things that happen, you have protected us and brought us this far. We say thank you, Jehovah God. We have gathered before thy presence, O Lord, knowing that in our weakness you are our strength. Where we lack, you give us sufficient grace. And we humble ourselves before you, O Lord, and say, Lord, lift up your holy hands. For horses are prepared for battle, but our great strength cannot save us. We pray that, Lord, as you commission Joshua and said, as I was with Moses, so shall I be with you, and you overcome. Lord, you will be with us, and we'll go to the battle, and we will overcome, and we'll give all the glory to you. May your presence go with us. May your presence overshadow everything that we do. We commit our flag bearer into your hands. They rejected Moses, but you said, this same Moses that they rejected, I have appointed him as leader and a prophet. May the servant of God, the flag bearer of the NDC, be the appointed president of the Lord, that he will go before us and redeem the nation Ghana, to save us from our woes, from the cries, from the calamities, from the anger and pain, that tomorrow by this time, a year by this time, it shall be a prayer of celebration to the glory of God. In Jesus' mighty name, amen.
Legacies never die. Championing the hopes of the next chapter of our nation's development is a man who needs no introduction. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Affable, decisive, and compassionate. These are key attributes amongst his numerous qualities which makes him stand out as a beacon of hope for Ghana come 7 December elections. Unlike his political opponent, who are still at the sword-cutting stage of their government, 4 years of the Mahama-led administration completed several projects in the areas of infrastructure, energy, health, agriculture, education, amongst others. These resulted in a massive boost in the country's economy. During his tenure, he steered the country through a difficult power crisis by deploying several emergency plans which added 800 megawatts of power and also sped up the completion of ongoing plans. This clearly rescued the nation out of the power crisis. Even though the ruling party continually claimed to be the ones who ended the crisis, the facts remain. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama solved the situation before handing over power.
I almost fell from my chair when I heard the minister saying that they've solved doom-solve. They solved doom-solve. Mr. Speaker, I was looking for one energy negotiated project that this government in 1 year has been able to do. Mr. Speaker, at least give John Dramani Mahama and the NDC some credit. The legacy of John Mahama still goes to 2018. When his government in this budget was talking about power projections for 2018, they mentioned early power and send power. Do you know how those plans were negotiated and started? At least give the NDC some credit and respect.
Several villages got connected to the national grid under his rural electrification program. They say is life. The Mahama-led administration increased investment for the provision of quality and clean drinking water. Several boreholes were constructed across rural communities and urban treatment projects were introduced to help with the supply of clean drinking water in cities and towns. The Teshi desalination plant, water expansion, and the ATMA projects are examples.
I'm questioning any supply here. Looking for because you life.
It is therefore not surprising a report in 2015 showed that more than 76% of people living in both rural and urban communities had access to clean drinking water. The road sector saw a phenomenal investment under his tenure. The Nkrumah interchange, Kaswa overhead, work in the road sector. Projects like the Tamamoto-Way roundabout, new bridge from the Flowerpot roundabout, and several others commenced during his term.
Mahama has cut sword for the commencement of the $1.5 billion Tema Port expansion.
An ailing economy which was running a high deficit with an increasing rate in inflation and interest rates, coupled with a rapidly depreciating currency. As a bold, decisive leader, he steered the economy back into a stable state.
In Ghana, we started with a strong socialist model where the state, was responsible for almost everything. Government's responsibility, one, is to accelerate the economy. By natural acceleration of the economy, natural jobs will be created in the private sector. Government must create an enabling environment that makes it conducive for business. And in that environment, jobs will be created. The genesis of this factory was from an official visit I paid to the Czech Republic. And the Czech, during the discussions with the Czechs, was the proposal to help us revamp the Kumasi shoe factory. And from then, I asked the military to work with their counterparts to ensure that this factory was revamped. Work started, and in 2012, I was asked to come and commission it, but we were so busy with the campaign that we were not able to do so. We're now able to produce our own boots for our security services. The armed forces of Ghana are having all their boots manufactured here. We started to promote technical and vocational education and training so that more young people are going into technical vocational education and training and improving their prospects for getting jobs. Apart from that, I launched a program called the Youth Enterprise Support Initiative. And what we did was we advertised online across the country and said any young person who had a proposal, a business proposal or idea should apply. We received in excess of 7,000 applications, and they took them through a process, training, looking at their proposals, helped them to develop those proposals into feasibility studies. And when they had developed the feasibility studies, we had a seed capital of 10 million Ghana cedis, which was disbursed to these young entrepreneurs.
The Yes Monetary and Evaluation team has been good because you see that their interest is in the success of the business. They are just interested that you succeed in the business, and we keep on having interaction and cooperation, trying to ensure that the business, the right thing is done in the business, and I succeed in the business.
With the banner say, the Youth Enterprise Support ABBA, young Ghanaians are your creative mind on phone BBF. On found political
I'm into aquaculture. I'm farming fish tilapia. I asked for 50,000 canoe, the improve, the scoop net, the platform. I can make extra 50,000 Yes.
His Excellency John Dramani Mahama has a good track record in the health sector. His tenure saw the training of a large number of health professionals to meet increasing demand. New regional hospitals were constructed in Bolgatanga. A 160-bed Upper West Regional Hospital in Wa. A new block at the Ridge Hospital, which is the Greater Accra Regional Hospital. The new Yeji Midwifery Training School was built to train nurses. A maternity block for Donkokrom Presbyterian Hospital in the Afram Plain South. For Mena District Hospital, a 120-bed Shai Osudoku District Hospital at Dodowa. The Bank of Ghana Hospital at Cantonment in Accra, and a 130-bed maritime hospital in Tema. district capitals got hospitals as well. New CHIPS compounds and polyclinics were added. These led to a massive usage of the National Health Insurance Scheme. In 2015, the outpatient utilization of the NHIS was 29 million as compared to 9 million in 2008. The poor, needy, and vulnerable were of major concern to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. The wide income disparity between the rich and the poor led him to strengthen social protection programs. This led to a phenomenal increase in the number of people benefiting from the school feeding program, as well as the Livelihood Empowerment Against Poverty program, SADA, amongst others. There was also a 50% increase in the District Assembly's Common Fund meant for people living with disability. Education is a bedrock of every nation. Mahama and the NDC have always made that their major priority. Many senior high schools were built around the country to provide sound and quality education for students. Amongst these are the new lecture halls for the Faculty of Pharmacy at the KNUST in Kumasi, new lecture hall for the Faculty of Agriculture, also at KNUST, new lecture block for the Hospitality Department in Sunyani, technical universities, 251 room hostels for University of Mines and Technology at Takwa, 8,100 basic school teachers were given training in the use of ICT. The Technical University Act 2016, Act 1992, University of Environment and Sustainable Development, Chartered Institute of Taxation Act 2016, National Accreditation and Qualification Bills 2015, and several other bills were passed to respond to the challenging dynamics in professional education. 500 vehicles were procured and distributed to universities, senior high schools, colleges of education, and polytechnics. 345 classrooms were rehabilitated. Under agriculture, several cocoa roads were completed. Farmers benefited from free subsidized fertilizers and agrochemicals. Fishermen benefited from subsidized premix fuel. Amidst the gloom, there is hope. 7 December presents us another opportunity to get Ghana working again by voting John Dramani Mahama back into office as president to rescue the people of Ghana. His government will steer Ghana back to glory. His track record is there to show. He has every Ghanaian at heart. There will be more jobs created. Businessmen and women will freely run their businesses without fear of government interference and witch hunting. Ghana shall prosper again. Vote for John Mahama. Vote for the NDC. Vote for Ghana.
You can only say wow, 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 wow. Indeed, he led the most successful Democratic Party in the Fourth Republic to attain a record that we must all be proud of. A round of applause for ourselves for doing a great job for this country with the continuous guidance and direction of our party Council of Elders, here represented today by the Vice Chairperson Alhaji Idrisu Mahama. A round of applause for him. We are indeed grateful for such a beautiful tradition. And I'm sure that the man I'm about to introduce has seen it all, done it all, and knows every bit of how far we have come. I present to you, ladies and gentlemen, the National Chairman of the National Democratic Congress, Honorable Samuel Ofosu-Ampofo.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, Mr. John Dramani Mahama, leader, the flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, and the next President of the Republic of Ghana. Your Excellency, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, the running mates of our flag bearer and the incoming Vice President of the Republic of Ghana. Vice Chairman of the Council of Elders and members of the Council of Elders, National Vice Chairman of the NDC, the General Secretary of the NDC, Honorable Johnson Esiedun Ketia, General Mosquito, the Honorable Haruna Idrisu, the hard-working minority leader in Parliament, the Honorable Alban Bagbin, Second Deputy Speaker of Parliament, members of Parliament, National Executive Committee members of the NDC, members of the Diplomatic Corps present, our friends from the media, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good evening to you all. We have met here this evening to launch our manifesto, with which we will contest and win the forthcoming presidential and parliamentary election come 7 December 2020. When the manifesto committee, under the chairmanship of my own Achim compatriots, mind you, we don't belong to any mafia group. We are Achim people. Please, we don't want trouble. Professor Kwaku Danso-Boafo was put in charge in October last year. The committee was charged with putting on paper the concerns and yearnings of the people of Ghana, which the President and the government, to be sworn in on 7 January 2021, would address in order to improve their livelihood and standard of living. In doing so, the committee departed from the norm and went down to the people who provided the material that has been written down as our social contract with the people when we assume the reins of government early next year. This is the primary reason why we call the document the People's Manifesto. It's a manifesto for the people, by the people, and with the people. Your Excellency, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, please permit me to quote directly from the preface that I wrote to the manifesto that we are about to launch this evening. The National Democratic Congress is a social democratic party which believes in an egalitarian society in which there is equal opportunity for all Ghanaians. Equal opportunity refers to the right to adequate and affordable health care, decent jobs, quality education, irrespective of gender or creed, liberty to practice one's religion and to engage in religious activities, and the freedom to pursue one's economic interests. The party therefore seeks to empower the powerless, free the oppressed, liberate the poor, assimilate the marginalized, and extend dignity to the vulnerable members of the Ghanaian populace. Since 1992, the NDC has sought to achieve these objectives through the various administrations which the electorate has given the party the opportunity to lead. We have endeavored to significantly improve the living standard of Ghanaians in all sectors of our lives and provide opportunity for enhancing education, health, and business. In the education sector, the immediate past NDC government provided infrastructure for the expansion of senior high schools in all corners of the country. As we toured the Upper West region recently with our incoming president, the traditional leaders and people lamented that as many as 5 E-blocks started by His Excellency John Dramani Mahama have been completely abandoned, even though construction has reached about 90% completion at the time we left office after the 2016 election. And Mr. President, I have not forgotten the lamentation of the paramount chief of the Zini traditional area when we met him at the wee hours of Thursday. He said the E-block averagely could have provided admission to about 1,000 students every year. And so if it had been completed since 1997, for the 3 academic years, at least 3,000 of young men and women in the Zini traditional area would have had access to quality senior high education. The same expressions were made when we were in Welembele, Konzo Kala, Zini, Dorimo, and Bo. All of them lamented very painfully and sadly that the E-blocks that the taxpayers' money has been used to construct, which has reached over 90% completion stage, has been left in the bush. The spectacle of abandoned projects dotted around the country and the pain and regret being expressed daily by our people have compelled the NDC, or has compelled me as I move around, to resignate the MPP name, because one of the things that we realized that all over the country, wherever you go, projects have been abandoned. So I was wondering whether we should continue to call them MPP and not APP, Abandoned Projects Party. Ladies and gentlemen, in health, we provided unprecedented health infrastructure that has served the country well in combating the COVID-19 outbreak. The extensive road projects undertaken by the immediate past NDC administration, together with the impressive provisions laid out for the future, have enhanced economic activities, and this will lead to improved accessibility to all parts of the country. In the energy sector, the NDC carried out infrastructure development that effectively ended Dumsor. I want to underline that effectively ended Dumsor. The debate of who ended Dumsor is not in contention. The NDC ended Dumsor under His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Today, if Ghanaians enjoy continuous power in their homes and businesses, it is due to the prudent and extensive infrastructure investment undertaken by the last NDC administration led by President John Dramani Mahama in the energy sector. The NDC has positively impacted lives of the people of Ghana in every aspect of our lives. Our 2016 manifesto had the theme, Changing Lives, Transforming Ghana. In it, we laid out extensive plans for the transformation of the Ghanaian economy to take advantage of the extensive infrastructure we had provided to leapfrog development in the economy in our new status as middle-income country. Unfortunately, we did not have the opportunity to implement these excellent ideas. At this point, Your Excellencies and distinguished ladies and gentlemen, may I humbly draw your attention to the spate of sword-cutting ceremony for construction of projects by the sitting president just 3 months to elections, for which no funding has been provided in the last budget. And firmly state here now that 4 years by now, instead of sword-cutting, President Mahama will be commissioning monumental projects across the length and breadth of this country. We saw it in 2016. In fact, it was very difficult for him to even complete the various commissioning of projects across the country. But what do we see now? Sword-cutting left, right, and center all over the place when we are only 3 months to go into election. This manifesto carries many of these ideas and includes many new projects and programs which makes the lives of all Ghanaians better. From the health to education to agriculture to tourism, everyone finds new policies that will impact positively on their lives. We do recognize the devastating effect of COVID-19 pandemic on the lives of all our people. We know that the educational system has been seriously disturbed. Our health facilities have been tested to their limits. Our people's business have been adversely affected, and so have the incomes of many of our people, and in particular those in the private sector and informal sectors have been hit really hard. In this manifesto, ladies and gentlemen, the NDC has laid out extensive plans for taking the country forward to a better position, not only to restore what we have lost, but more importantly, to raise the living standards of every Ghanaian. This People's Manifesto has been prepared with the ordinary man and woman on the street in mind. You will find the language simple and unambiguous. The policy proposals are so simple that everybody can relate to them. The issues have been presented in thematic areas, and we have provided a table of content so you can easily find issues you are interested in. Unfortunately, because this is not going to be a lengthy program, it is not all the highlights that we can cover in these evening programs. In the coming days and weeks and months, we will engage the people of Ghana in order to share with them the initiatives that President John Dramani Mahama government will offer them come January 2021. I invite all to take the time to read and note the content. It is a social contract the NDC is presenting to the people of this country. We, the citizens of this noble country, are now at a critical juncture. We cannot sink any further than we have. We are at rock bottom. The incumbent is not only confused and exhausted. President Akufo-Addo is digging an even deeper hole from which, if not stopped, we will all be buried alive. I therefore call on all our countrymen and women and every citizen to go to the pool in December and with one big push, rescue Ghana and Ghanaians from this affliction. Enough is enough. Give us your mandate and hold us to strict account of the things that you find in this manifesto. Vote for President John Dramani Mahama, and let us together move Ghana in the right direction, because indeed Ghana must work again. Vote for the John and Jane ticket for jobs and prosperity to all, not a few. The rescue mission continues. Join the winning team. The John and Jane team represents the best hope for Ghana. I thank you very much, and may the good Lord bless us all.
James Samba Biom. Not to me, Jamaica Finance for no more year, a boy young, a year transport. As a year, Binumono, Nakaya Macrofinance, Nakaya Bin and Bedu Baby Dune. I've seen a Nyama, a Juma, Macrofinance, Omodi Boye. I've seen Molo, Sikiti, Omodi Maya, and a boy, my Yesu. Yabedu Baby, but about where I was so bad, or Gunina since 2017, Ebedu 2020 way. Upe komo 2,000 Ghana cedis. Our bank number union loan. But Obia Noah or started Juma for loan, Yajuma. As a matter of fact, no, and my boys in my US school be Brena Yajuma. They say who buy Omuchini Nano, and Marco Falascono, on our gum, but on Mamma Falas in the bar. Omuna was talking about Yesu, a Juma Benya.
A GM or so back. No, Baba Butria Momudia. Medium, we did this over Tria. Because why be that? We will do this over Tria, into Sobano Sobotria, until you know, especially with the bank in a good area. Bank sign bank getting in a local public because bank getting in a Yaguno. It's immediately also about Banova sending you can be in the Jumaya. bia nya dwuma ye dia me support say ye nto abanfama na omra na omato na dwuma so hwe banks do do wagu no se nipa ba ko me di kwasi dum dia kwa ye fato hwe kwasi dum ne bank pa ewo ho na se numwa ba ko si ha labadi bank ba ko si ho na se even bank ba ko bia fa nipa 10 including won cleaners kura fa nipa 10 a cleaners ni ne bank manager bibia ka won na hwe across the nation hwe bank wagu no hwe nipa do wo ma betena fie.
The big hospital. So, Papa. Yes, so, Ma. Government is building teaching hospitals, district hospitals, polyclinics, and health centers all across Ghana.
New schools, new roads.
What?
Here they be, Papa. Yes, over 1,500 basic school projects, 60,000 laptops, and over 6 million textbooks for the students. Wow, Masa Moye Didi.
Papa, because of small construction, you are happy.
Not just construction, Madam. This government has provided over 120,000 jobs to the Youth Employment Agency, and over 400,000 are employed directly on government projects.
We are waiting for change.
Oh, don't worry, my sister. There's more ahead. This is just the beginning. Just let me continue driving.
Yes, don't call me. Come and see, come and see. Follow me to see change.
Hey! Now you are talking. Change has come.
Driver, we don't want to stay here.
You want to trust someone who has not proven himself?
Don't worry, I'll wait for you. Let's go. We are in this together.
Welcome to change. Are we walking?
Where's the bus?
Don't worry, our bus is bigger and better than that one. Change is coming.
Is
this the change?
Oh, don't you touch me. Come back, oh.
Driver, let's back. Now shall we begin our journey? You don't have to look far. Change isn't coming. Change is already happening all around you. Vote for John Mahama in the 2016 election. JM Tuwasu.
I'm sure we all miss that advert, don't we? We have to play it every other day so that we all understand that change really told us a story. I'm sure that you're all ready as we rescue this nation. It is a communal labor and all of us should get involved. Let me first of all say thank you very much to our hardworking national chairman, the Honorable Samuel Ofosu-Ampofo. Can we do it for him? Thank you very much, Chairman. Let me also acknowledge the presence of the Ghana Federation of Labour, Private Enterprises Federation, Nurses and Midwives Association, the Ghana Laboratory Technicians Association, the Ghana Contractors Association, the Ghana Assembly Members Association, the Ghana Journalists Association, the Ghana Medical Association is also represented, the Ghana Federation of Persons Living with Disabilities, and Cooperative Drivers Association. All of you are welcome to our presence here this evening. We are grateful for your time. It's time to listen to the Chief Executive of our great party, the Honorable Johnson Esiedu Nketia. Thank you very much.
Your Excellency John Dramani Mahama, leader and flag bearer of the National Democratic Congress, comrades, to save time, I'd like to ride on the earlier courtesies established by my national chairman, Samuel Ofosu-Ampofo. My short presentation this evening is to emphasize the importance of thinking outside the box in solving very difficult problems. Let me begin by telling you a very short story. There was a garment factory that specialized on the production of underwear. At the close of business every day, the manager realized that there were shortages in the products. So the most obvious thing he decided to do was to conduct very intrusive searches on the employees. But this did not lead to finding the solution. So one watchman just said that, Mr. Manager, instead of searching the workers as they were going out, can we consider searching them when they are coming in? The manager didn't find it interesting to pursue that action. But somehow he wasn't getting the solution, so one day he decided to give it a try. Ladies and gentlemen, he found the solution because he realized that half of the workers, when coming in, had no panties. So, anytime they work and they are going back, they will then take some of their panties, go to the bathroom, and then wear them. So the searches that were conducted as they were going out did not find anything. Each person was wearing just one panty. This is an important lesson to you about how we need to think outside the box in trying to find solutions to difficult problems. 28 years ago, when it became necessary for Ghana to have a new constitution, the leader of the revolution at that time, President Jerry John Rawlings, realized that even before independence, for the years leading to independence, Ghana had been having constitutions upon constitutions, and the average lifespan for each constitution was about 3 years. After independence, the story continued, and later the incidents of coup d'etats came in. So after every 3 years, there was one coup d'etat or the other. But we were looking for a constitution that will last and to help us to establish a lasting democracy. So President Rawlings said, comrades, all these past constitutions have been put together by technocrats, university professors, lecturers, lawyers, accountants, and so on. But they were all not surviving. So can we think outside the box? Instead of us technocrats drawing a constitution for the masses, can we allow the masses to come and draw the constitution for themselves? And so he invited hairdressers, butchers, traders, fishmongers, farmers, fishermen, all over. And when we came together in the Consultative Assembly, some of the technocrats, under the guise of Buzia Dankwa Club, the Ghana Bar Association, were teasing us that they could not sit side by side with butchers and fishermen in writing a constitution. And so they were not going to participate at all. We persisted and developed the constitution. Ladies and gentlemen, for 28 years now and counting, that constitution has survived and it still goes on and on and on. Several weeks ago, we were here at the UPSA Hall to also present to you the product, once again, of a thinking outside the box. Because since independence, in search for inclusiveness, political parties have been looking at whether the best way of getting inclusivity is to bring somebody from Navrongo and another person from Aflao to be president and running mate. Some were saying, let us choose one Muslim and one Christian. Others were saying, let's choose a Pentecostal and a Methodist. President John Dramani Mahama felt that the only way to solve this problem is again to think outside the box. So he decided that all these balances are inferior. The only God-given balance that will solve this problem is the gender balance. And so he chose Professor Nana. We are back again to the UPSA Hall to present to you another product of outside-the-box thinking. And it is the People's Manifesto. For the first time in the history of any political party in this country, we are presenting to you a manifesto that was not developed by leaders of the party who have arrogated themselves the power of thinking for other people. But ladies and gentlemen, we are presenting to you the product of the people's own thinking, which we have put together, polished, and developed into implementable programs. So I am very confident that the age-long problem of underdevelopment for this country is going to be solved once and for all by the People's Manifesto. The manifesto that is derived out of what the people think is good for them. We asked the people how they would want to see Ghana in the next 4 years. What country they envision to live in the next 4 years, and how to build that country. And it is out of this conversation that the People's Manifesto was developed. Ladies and gentlemen, I am very confident that NDC will once again solve the national problem by this outside-the-box thinking product that we will be presenting to you this evening. Good evening.
many Semper, as I say, Mimpon on by, as you may do on Nimudada, and I Mimpon vision a course on the one man is Sanya JMA Casa, or Manu is Sayani de course, or very ready, say, Obaba. Now, San in Juma is somebody they hear, say, Missy. You could application a day, Chima, and then in Juma you want to acquire, say, only moving point through a Juma, and then the idea what says security move, a Bimu ye Juma, and Casay Jumano, a Juma Jananso, I could jump on a woman, Nina, and William so one of the big Juma obligated job, and poor Edamai and a ninja something you to me, Yana, case says to I young Cassia, ye advice here, ye group with your Bapa, ye never to Santa or to Abadamano.
In time of Grombe, Emil Fudomambe, Neva, Ashindo, Walakatan, Yadori Jirebe, Amagalifia, Magaramate, Yusku, Kakeabe, Atomabe, Otava, Auranako. Emil Fedication, Over Fedication Mulaha, Mama Greta Yimu, they the Fedication Ha, School York, Egaba School Homelu. Dans problème que je dois attendre le bêta non avec le fait de question ta ma wait me time et on académie faut faire va à bon organiser que et moi tu m'as bien trop ça mais tu m'as believe pas
on peut c'est yeah entrepreneurs no or boy in a way like all your apprentices they are to know oh yeah good but me time mission at the permanent yeah easy. And move on this current tutors will be in time pay this kind of trade no mission. In the Sabanis or more in these times now. I think that the youth will go in to learn.
Before the previous administration exited office, on this particular campus, the Regional Maritime University, a vocational center was built, was to help students come up with their techniques when it comes to welding and all that, because I quite remember the former president came to the school and then spoke about the fact that on the rig one time they needed welders to work there, and then it was very alarming that they didn't really have professional welders in Ghana. So based on that fact, that facility was set up, but since the government left office, nothing much had come out of it. So I think with the job creation, giving students the opportunity to have free vocational education after school, they would be able to come out and then set up some jobs for themselves.
When a criminal or an armed robber breaks into your home, he does not hail a Yezu or Kukudu. At that point in time, that criminal or that armed robber is thinking about his stomach. So I believe that a visionary leader like this, that is bringing policies, that is actually going to give some livelihood to the youth, I think will go a long way to grant us some safety within the community.
That's wonderful. Ladies and gentlemen, another round of applause for our General Secretary, the only general in Ghana politics, Honorable Asedu Nketia. Wherever and however you are following us, we want to thank you sincerely for being part of this all-important launch of a manifesto that reminds me of the Gettysburg Address by Abraham Lincoln, a government for the people and by the people. This indeed is a manifesto by us and for us. I am, however, getting a number of reports of lights outs in the country. I don't know if that's a response to our chairman's, emphatic statement of how Dumso was resolved. And we hope this is not to deny the good people of Ghana the opportunity to follow this all-important event. Let me acknowledge the presence of our leadership in Parliament. Honourable Kingsford Sumana Bagwin is the second Deputy Speaker in Parliament and Member of Parliament, the longest-serving Member of Parliament who inspires all of us. We thank you for your, mentorship over the years. We also have Honorable Haruna Idrisu, who is a minority leader, the indefatigable minority leader in Parliament and Member of Parliament for the Tamale South constituency. Honorable Muntaka Mubarak Mohammed is a minority chief whip, and he is Member of Parliament from the Asawasi constituency And that indeed is a constituency that many of the opponents have their eye on, but he has held on for a number of years now, and wish him the very best of luck as he goes in for another election. Honorable Ahmed Banda Ibrahim is also a deputy chief whip, and he's member of parliament for the Banda constituency. A round of applause for them, please. Also present tonight is Mr. Prosper Bani, who is a former chief of staff and former minister of interior. We also have Honorable Julius Dibra, former chief of staff, also with us here. Dr. Valerie Sawyer, former deputy chief of staff and senior policy advisor. We have also with us Honorable Elvis Afriyankra, National Elections Director of the NDC. We will continue with the program and later do some more acknowledgements. But at this point, the reason why we are here, the men and women who have spent sleepless nights to put together the views of the people as they came in from Hamle and also from Aflao. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me with a round of applause to welcome the Manifesto Committee Chairman, Professor Kweku Dan-Sebuafo, to the stage. A round of applause for him, please.
Your Excellency, Mr. John Dramani Mahama, former President of our great republic, and soon to be reinstated President of our great country. Her Excellency, Mrs. Lodina Mahama, Excellency, Professor Nana Jane Opoku Ajiman, running mates of the great National Democratic Congress's flag bearer and the next Vice President of our great republic. The Honorable Mr. Samuel Ofosu-Ampofo, Chairman of our great National Democratic Congress. Honorable Mr. Johnson Esiedun Ketia, the mosquito. Honorable members of the Council of Elders, led by our senior brother, Alhaji Mahama Idrisu. Our parliamentary leadership, regional, district, and constituency officials, members of the clergy, members of the and all the other distinguished individuals, comrades, brothers and sisters, good evening. On the 23rd of October last year, I was given the honor and privilege to chair a committee with the mandate to draft a manifesto that captured the hopes, needs, and aspirations of the good people of this country. Excellencies, comrades, brothers, and sisters, I am happy and humbled at the same time to stand before you this evening to declare that the mission that was assigned to us in October last year has been accomplished. We have produced a document whose philosophy is not only grassroots-based, people-oriented, inclusive and bottom-up, but more importantly, a winning document. Our manifesto is based on reliable, valid, and verifiable data. Time will not allow me to present a detailed summary of the manifesto we prepared, or even to explain its philosophy and methodology. However, we, my colleagues and I, will submit a full report to the party, providing details of the processes and strategies we adopted in the preparation of this document by the end of this month. We believe that this will be of great value to our great party in the preparation of its manifestos in the future. Excellencies, comrades, at this stage, I pay tribute to the many remarkable individuals who comprised the manifesto team, and especially our tireless secretariat. We were fortunate to have an incredible combination of subject matter expertise, grassroots, political, economic, and administrative competence, and sheer commitment to the party and to our country. Comrades, as the chairman has indicated, and the General Secretary has also reiterated, let me emphasize that the strategy we took to craft this document was deliberate, was conscious. It wasn't as a result of our inability to think. It wasn't as a result of the fact that we did not have individuals who were competent enough, as some others have alleged. My brothers and sisters, we believed that if we need to practice democracy, we need to extend whatever we do, especially in terms of preparing a social contract between our political party and the good people of Ghana, with serious consultations. As you know, in the preamble of our Constitution, 1992 Constitution, the number one tribute we give is to the Almighty God. Second tribute is to the good people of Ghana, because we recognize that the sovereign will of the people determine the authority and power of whichever government we establish. For this purpose, in order to craft the manifesto, you remember that we requested every constituency, every district, every region to submit proposals, memoranda, and whatever opinions individuals had to the party secretariat by December 7th, 2019. In addition to these requests, we also had to interface with most of the civil society organizations that have been mentioned and represented here. We also interfaced with individuals who had specific concerns that needed to be brought to the attention of the Manifesto Committee and in general to the National Democratic Congress. You would also remember that before the Manifesto Committee was inaugurated on October 23rd last year, the flag bearer had established working groups working on the economy, infrastructure, education, health, all aspects of our lives. On the National Democratic Party side, standing committees had also been established that were charged with the responsibility of doing the same thing, looking into our body politic and determining the kinds of problems we're facing as a country and craft solutions. These working groups provided reports to the Manifesto Committee, and in addition to those reports, they met with us, they made oral presentations, and gave us the kind of information that eventually we put together to constitute the manifesto that we are here to launch today. My brothers and sisters, having collated all the information from the district, from the regions and the constituencies, and having met the various representatives of civil society organizations and individuals, the next project was to synthesize all these documents, papers, ideas, proposals, memoranda into a draft manifesto document. In the process of doing that, we had at the back of our minds the fact that in the past we have prepared huge manifestos that nobody really read. So in the collective wisdom of the Manifesto Committee, we decided to categorize the documentation, the needs, hopes, aspirations, and problems of our brothers and sisters in this country into 6 thematic areas. Theme 1, titled Fixing the Economy and Uniting Against Poverty. Under this theme, all the economic issues, all the economic problems, all the economic proposals are listed here in the manifesto that will soon be launched. The second theme was promoting human development. Human development encompasses all the problems in education, in health, and the other social sectors. Theme 3, providing infrastructure for growth. Under this theme, we have several interesting and valuable, sustainable programs. The biggest of them is, have you forgotten? The Big Push. The fourth theme, creating sustainable and decent jobs. Ejumapa. We've christened it Ejumapa because we are differentiating between Ejumapa and Ejumaboni. We want our people to have decent and sustainable jobs, jobs that will give them personal and familial satisfaction, from which they will derive decent income to support their honorable and distinguished families. Theme 5, good governance, anti-corruption, and accountable government. Under this theme, we have a big anti-corruption project christened the Sting. So if you intend to engage in any corrupt activities under this manifesto, please look elsewhere. There isn't space for you. Theme number 6, deepening international relations and foreign affairs. Under this theme, we commit ourselves to the principles and ideals of the United Nations, the principles and ideals of African Union, the principles and ideals of ECOWAS, and we indeed intend to take advantage of the after that was recently headquartered right here in Ghana, in Accra. With these 6 themes, we appointed individuals who were responsible for crafting the kinds of programs and policies that should go under each of the themes. And these individuals were responsible for giving us the kind of information you see in the document that is about to be launched. We've already indicated that the conscious effort to get the involvement of the citizens of Ghana in the preparation of this social contract, let's be clear in our minds that the manifesto is a social contract between the National Democratic Congress and the good people of the Republic of Ghana. And therefore, it would have been unpardonable not to have sought the views, concerns, worries, fears, hopes, and aspirations of the good people of this country. We are cementing the social contract through democracy. That's what we eventually culminate in this document that we are about to launch today. My brothers and sisters, the fact that I'm the chairman of the committee doesn't mean that I, as an individual, produced this document. There was a team of 21 individuals, and I would want at this point to request those individuals who served with me on this August adventure to stand when I mention your name and be recognized appropriately. With all due respect, may I first call on Let me emphasize one point. Let me emphasize just one point. She led the team that prepared the section on human development in the document we are going to be launching. And as a sign of a good and responsible citizen, even when she was named running mate and outlawed, she continued to attend our meetings. Not too many of us would have done that. Professor George Oduro, former Pro-Vice Chancellor of the University of Cape Coast, Madam. Professor Oduro, are you somewhere? Oh, you are there, Professor Oduro. Ambassador Spio Gabra. Professor Opuni Esiama. You are here. Professor Stephen Kendi. Professor Stephen Kendi, are you here? Dr. Alassane Yakubu. The Honorable Nana Oye. She served as secretary to the committee, and I do not believe that you slept over the past 2 weeks. You will get your reward in heaven. Honorable Mavis Ama Frimpong. Where is she? Oh, you are here. Okay, good. Ms. Benedicta Lassie. She's there somewhere. Okay. Mr. Alex Mould. Ambassador Sam P. Yali. Mr. Sebastian De. Mr. Napoleon Poe. Napo, are you here somewhere? Mr. Michael Ni Abbey. You see here somewhere? Al-Aji Haruna Rashid, the Director of Research. He's not here. Mr. Prosper Huetu. Mr. Peter Otukono. Mr. Guzitano and Mr. Chichie Opoku are all members of this committee, but they could not join us this evening. My brothers and sisters, we thank you so much for allowing us to undertake this exercise on your behalf. We believe that we are leaving you with a manifesto that is probably the best any political party could have produced. There are several individuals who worked in our working groups and in the standing committees and subcommittees. There are too many to acknowledge here. But I wish to say to you, thank you so much. May the good Lord continue to bless our homeland Ghana and also our National Democratic Congress. We wish you success.
I think most often when we travel outside, we're able to say that America is different from Ghana simply because of the infrastructure we see. The good roads, the good hospitals, the good schools and all that. And so if an amount of 10 billion is going to be pushed into our infrastructure to elevate it to a point where we're going to have that solace, like those in America and all that, then I think it's a very good thing. So if we're going to get that, I know it's going to create jobs, it's going to open up the economy and all that. So it's a very great thing, and I feel very excited about that.
Saa kwan wi a yɛwɔ so yi kotoba bi spinters ase na ɛyɛ rough road obi aso nim sɛ rough road yɛntumi ntena nkyɛn yɛ business bɛn si baa no wabɛka kwan yi kota menim na ndc yɛ kwan wi nti ɔyɛ wie no manya akwanya a medi table abɛsi ho a meyɛ mobile money.
I'm a mother and a lecturer, and I think what I find very interesting in this manifesto of the NDC for this campaign season 2020 is the fact that they have promised that there's going to be an extension of maternity leave from 3 months to 4 months, which I find very, very exciting. Because as a mother and a lecturer, normally when you have your new baby with all the excitement, you normally don't even have the opportunity. As long as the semester is in session, what it means is that immediately you have to hit the ground running with your activities. But I think if this is extended, you can even have a whole semester off to take care of your baby, which I think it is a very good thing for me and all women, working class women in this country. And I think for this singular reason, all women should be very excited about this manifesto and should really rally behind the NDC so that whatever dreams that they have for women will come to fruition. Thank you very much.
I see the inclusion of 4 months maternity leave as a very good call for women, and not only for women, also for we the men. Because when within the 3 months, when the women are supposed to go to work, there's a workload on we as the men. Sometimes we even try to cover up by taking care of the children at home when the woman is supposed to go back to work. And this is not good for women. And I think this is a very good call, and I think more women will support this call and support the incoming president to succeed, because this is a president, or this is a former president who has decided to take a woman as a vice president and has created more other opportunities for women. I think this is a very good call. It will help even we the men in also having more time to do other things when the woman had a 4-month stay at home.
My name is Eunice Kaminta. I'm a businesswoman and then a mother, of course. And listening to the policies of the flag bearer of the NDC, there is this policy that I find so much comfort, and I can't wait to see it rolled up in Ghana, which is the increasing the maternity leave from 3 months to 4 months. This is so good. It's good news to us. This is what women have always asked for. It isn't easy to go through this 9 whole months period of pregnancy, put into bed, and within 3 months, you are supposed to be out there with the baby, working again. Psychologically, it doesn't help us. Health-wise, we are not well prepared and in the right mood to go back into work. But this additional 1 month, people may think it's just 1 month. But 1 month, even a week makes a lot of difference. So adding a month will really go on to ensure that the mother and child recovers healthily, and the child is well, catered for, and the child is ready to be on his or her own partially from the mother. So the mother can have that free mind. The mother can have that sound mind to be able to go back to productive work. So this is so good. And I am not even surprised with this policy, because the choice of the running mate of His Excellency President Mahama alone, this is the first time that we have seen a major political party like the NDC coming out with a woman as a running mate, because His Excellency President Mahama has vision for this country, and he knows that this country is populated by more women. Women are more in Ghana, so women will matter to him. That is why he has picked a female as a running mate, a female who is a mother, a female who understands her colleague females and what her colleague females go through day in, day out. So I am not surprised at all, and I give him thumbs up for this major decision, this bold decision to pick a female as a running mate. And I therefore want to use this opportunity to encourage and call on all women in Ghana to come out and support President Dramani Mahama. Vote for him. Let us realize this our dream. Women, we need this extra 1 month. Please, let's not let this opportunity slip us. We need this extra 1 month. Fellow women, come out, let's support the president so that he can push this for us. We really need it. And with Professor Jane Nano Opoku-Agyeman as the running mate, we know that all our needs will be catered for. They will be met because we understand ourselves. We understand our own issues.
Indeed, it's an exciting time to be a woman in this country, especially when His Excellency John Dramani Mahama made that bold decision. Congratulations, sir. We, the women in the NDC and the women in Ghana, give you thumbs up, and we are grateful for this bold decision. And to our mother, welcome. We know that you make a difference so far as the women of this country are concerned, and victory shall come to us December 7th, 2020. Let me also Once again, get a round of applause for our able professor from the Achimland, who is also our manifesto chairman. Thank you very much. We are grateful for your presentation. Can we do it once again for Professor Danso Boafo? Don't forget he's a professor and he's an Achim. Let me also acknowledge the presence of Dr. Joseph Whittle. He is Acting Deputy High Commissioner for the British High Commission. Welcome, sir. We are grateful for your time. I also take this opportunity to acknowledge the presence of Madam Sherry Aite. She is Vice Chair, National. Thank you very much, Ma'am. Chief Soko Azoka is Vice Chair, National. Alhaji Said Sinari is Vice Chairman. Honorable Kofi Ato is also our Vice Chairman. The Honorable Moses Mabenga is Vice Chair also. Barbara Asamoah is Deputy General Secretary. Peter Boama Otokuno is Deputy General Secretary. Hamidu Akamba is our National Organizer. And the Honorable Hannah Bisiu, National Women's Organizer. We acknowledge your presence, Madam. George Opari Ado is National Youth Organizer. You're welcome, sir. And Ambassador Dan Abudapi is also with us this evening. Let me welcome our able and hard-working minority leader, the Honorable Haruna Idrisu. He is Member of Parliament for Tamale South.
Your Excellency, John Dramani Mahama and Mrs. Lodina Mahama, Professor Nana Jane Opokwa Jiman, Vice President of the Republic of Ghana to be, I'm profoundly optimistic. Alhaji Mahama Idrisu, Vice Chair representing the Council of Elders, Right Honorable Do Ajaho, former Speaker of Parliament, all other protocols observed, my colleague members of Parliament, we acknowledge your presence. Today is a very solemn occasion for us, but to assure Excellency President Mahama and the leadership of the party led by the National Chairman and General Secretary that your parliamentary caucus remains strong and with the spirit of arise and act, you can be optimistic of a parliamentary majority come January 7th, 2021. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, my task is a very simple one. What will a John Dramani Mahama presidency do to improve governance generally in our country? He makes a solemn pledge for a truly independent judiciary, a fearless and predictable judiciary, and a commitment of an initiative he started then with then Chief Justice of the Republic, Justice Theodora Wood, that he would give true meaning to Article 1582 and 149 of the Constitution, which seeks to improve the conditions of service of all workers within the judiciary service. His solemn pledge. He would also support the judiciary to establish courts of appeal in some parts of the country, western, northern, and the Volta regions, to facilitate speedy adjudication of justice, whilst increasing resources and expanding access to legal aid to the poor and the indigents. President John Dramani Mahama's pledge on corruption and ending nepotism and growing corruption. He makes a commitment And the commitment will be to reduce the size, call it the elephant size, of government. Unprecedented in our country history, 118 ministers of state. Excellency John Dramani Mahama makes a commitment to the Ghanaian people that he will downsize the size of the ministers, review and reform the Ghanaian public service to respond to COVID emergency, and deepen the administrative efficiency of those institutions. Excellency John Dramani Mahama makes a commitment to make corruption once again a high-risk activity. As you heard from Professor Danso Buafu of Achim fame, he will sting corruption like the scorpion will bite you when you are caught with it. So corruption will be made a high-risk activity. He will review and legislate on the code of conduct that he initiated as President of the Republic up to January 7, 2017. The good people of Ghana, again, be assured that John Dramani Mahama will find answers to the unanswered questions of corruption, whether it is BOST, whether it's National Youth Authority, whether it's Kroll Associate. It's only in Ghana that excavators can get missing and can be found and nothing happen. That will not happen under a John Mahama presidency. All public officials who demonstrate and attempt to loot the public purse will be punished and punished accordingly. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in concluding, John Dramani Mahama makes a commitment to massive constitutional review efforts that gives Ghana a development constitution, having tested and examined the 1992 constitution up to date. He will deepen his partnership with organized labor in order that the constitutional amendment, including the white paper that was issued by him, will give true meaning to democratic governance in our country. A few years ago, they said they were going to end the suffering of the Ghanaian people. Farmers were suffering, nurses were suffering, teachers are suffering. The suffering is still on. Support John Dramani Mahama on the rescue mission to end the continuous suffering of our people. On legal education, President John Dramani Mahama recognizes that many young people qualified in Ghana, desirous to have legal education and read law, are denied the opportunity. He makes a commitment to expand access to legal education by reviewing and giving accreditation to certified law faculties across the country to increase the number of professional lawyers in our country and paralegals of our country so that you make a meaningful contribution to our national development. He makes that commitment. John Dramani Mahama does not make a commitment that he will reduce the public debt and increase the public debt and make Ghana a debt-distressed country. From 120 billion as of January 2017 is 258 billion. But at least with ours, you can count the projects that accounted for it. And to the youth, many a times when manifestos are read, the question the media asks is, how is it going to be funded? And I conclude with that. In this manifesto, President John Dramani Mahama has made a commitment to end seasonal agriculture and to end natural rain-fed agriculture. He will conduct a number of irrigation dams in all parts of the country, including what he started in Tamni in the Upper East region, a new one in Mprem in the Central region, a new irrigation dam in Amate in the Eastern region, Pagaza in the Northern region. But you know what? A John Mahama pledge is that these irrigation dams will be funded by the Ghana Exim Bank, created by him as President of the Republic. He promises the ICT champions. He will train young people in IT applications. It will be funded by the Ghana Universal Access Fund. what he promised he will honor as his covenant to the Ghanaian people. We only can look forward to a John and Jane. There is no improvement in the quality of life of the Ghanaian, and the nepotism of family and friends can only have a terminal end in the John Mahama presidency. I thank you all.
I have 3 kids. I make my money from Okada riding. So consider Okada riders better and address us in your manifesto. That's what I have for you. And that's the only reason why I'll vote for Mahama. Nanado doesn't ride motor, but you, Mahama, I've been seeing you on motorbike.
Mahama manifesto no Okada. Media Okada from me say already or Okada for to know or moment to my me because of Eduma ni ho na boys no so omunya mo san Eduma omo fandi de ye yina ye Eduma we Okada ni ye de Eduma ye de nya kakakra ye de ye de tu ye ho ebi wo yire ebi wo ma a omo ko school ni ade isi a udi moto udi kokroma esi buei na police a chew ade ye nya to aba e ma MPP since 2000 am start say me to aba ma MPP ade ato aba ama still yara so yere e wa ho kirem na se JM aba se o ma kwan me ya de ya ye adwuma dia anya ye nyina be ya dwun be ba ko ni ato ama no ade nti ya ntoma no because Saudi JM ba na odi moto odi kokrom na police anya de ya hawa ade nti ya ntoma no ya blessa 52,000 up to now odi moto kokrom na ya chew adani ya kosa ma park ya meti moto so the police no achieve adi o si ma chew mu kwa me hwe mu dada we ni nyina Mahama oba ni nyina subetwa atibi gyina ma Okada fo nyina ye nyina ye to aba ma JM na ye den eko ono ana eko.
I think what our former president is about to do about the legalization of Okada is a good thing. Some of us we have just finished our SHS and we don't have the money to continue our education level. So we use this as a means to earn our daily bread. The legalization of this bike, it will help us also because we will only earn some little amount from this. Sometimes maybe 50 Ghana a day or maybe 100 cedis a day. But because of it's not being legalized, you can end up meeting a policeman who will stop you all of a sudden and instead of arrested you because you are not being licensed to use it. And the policeman might take you 100 cedis, 200 cedis, and at the end of the day, you have it to gain. So if this bike is being legalized, and at least we have the free road to work and live our normal life, even that small money that is going somewhere might be used to help us. So we are very happy about hearing the news that there's going to be a legalization of this motorbike because it's a very good thing to us, the youth, because most of us are having no work to do. Some of us, we depend on this bike to look after our families, pay school fees for our children, our mothers when they're sick, everything. We use through this means we get a little money to help them. So we are saying that we are going to vote for JM for this good idea that he has brought to us.
Also legalizing, say anya Ghana and I be legalizing Okada. E work ko bebre so. Uko Nigeria so Okada wo, uko Togo Okada wo. And I be Togo. Into legalize a number. Now more be insurance, better insurance. Uto former better insurance ever cover within Nigeria. Now I fine. On legalize here, can say it so.
Assemblymen does a lot of work in the community. They are the first point of contact to the community. There's no one that will come to the community and you cannot see the assemblyman first. Then after that, that maybe they'll be talking of the MP or they'll go to the MC or something. So we are the first point of contact. At the place that I have an assemblyman, people come to me with their problems, and then some of them come with their needs, and they would like to meet the MP or anybody for help and things. People are fall sick, people need school fees, they will come to assemblyman and all these things. But so far as we are not being paid, the people come, we turn them down. Your own little way, especially if somebody is sick, or if they call you that somebody has died and is somewhere, or somebody is sick and is in an uncompleted building or a kiosk, a slum area, you need to go and attend to that person. But at a point you go there, maybe the person needs financial support. And so far as we are not being paid, sometimes it becomes more difficult for us. So I've seen it wise that all assemblymen, we are the first point of contact. So I believe that if JDM said you pay assemblymen, it's a plus to us. And we all, assemblymen who believe that, yes, assembly is really assembly, I'm sure that all assemblymen will vote for JDM.
I think the policies that has been churned out by His Excellency, the former President, Napobo Kolena, John Dramani Mahama, is so exciting and interesting, and I am so much enthused and happy about those promises, and more especially the one he promised assembly members. If you look at the way poverty is arrogantly facing us in the face, it is so nauseating and irritating. And as a result of that, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama is promising assembly members monthly salaries that will enable them to be able to take care of their families, their needs, and put them in a platform, to take responsibility and to take the bull by the horn and make sure that, the problems that is being faced by the people in their communities are being sent to the assembly to be addressed. So I am so much excited by these policies, and I want to thank His Excellency, the incoming president, Napobo Kolena, John Dramani Mahama. I am proud to associate myself with the policies of His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, and I want to urge everybody, women, the youth, the aged, and everybody to come on board and solidly behind His Excellency John Dramani Mahama and vote for him overwhelmingly to win the December elections, and we can be able to be rest assured that he will continue the numerous policies that have been abandoned by this corrupt, nepotistic, super incompetent government. We are sick and tired of the corruption, and we want to rescue Ghana from now. And Upper West want to contribute their quota.
It is a rescue mission, and the youth of Ghana must rise. Arise for your beloved country. Ladies and gentlemen, we have the Okada Riders Association in the house. Let me at this point also acknowledge the presence of our 2020 campaign team coordinator, Honorable Professor Joshua Alabi. He's in the house. A round of applause for him. We have a Deputy Minority Leader in Parliament, Honorable James Abeji, and Comfort Doyle Kujo Gansa, who is also a Deputy Chief Whip in the House of Parliament. We also have Right Honorable Doa Jao, former Speaker of Parliament, and Ambassador Victor Beho with us this evening. Thank you very much for your presence. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the hour we've all been waiting for. It is time for us to listen to the man to lead the rescue mission. With the man is with the woman. Professor Jane Nana Opoku-Agyeman, but this time around, for him to have the peace of mind required from home to lead that rescue mission, the woman with him is the former First Lady and next First Lady of the Republic of Ghana, Lordina Mahama. He led with humility, with honesty, and with dexterity. And he's back to lead the National Democratic Congress to rescue this country by the grace of Allah Almighty and with your support. Ladies and gentlemen, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
Ladies and gentlemen, presenting the Nation Builder.
John Mahama, waya, 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 waya. Waya, John Mahama, Tuchikoko. Come on, come on. John Mahama, waya, 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 waya. Waya.
A nation builder is one with vision, a planner, and a master tactician. Here's a man with a team that understands that the implementation of free senior higher education, for example, requires adequate infrastructure in order not to destabilize an already working quality educational system. This is a man with a team that negotiates deals in a holistic manner, like the Tema Port expansion project that concluded with the construction of the Tema Motorway interchange for ease of transport of goods. This is a nation builder, one who makes judicious use of resources at his disposal. There are several infrastructure projects in various sectors of the economy accounted for under John Mahama's 4 years of governance. This nation builder is trustworthy, one who is faithful to his promise. John Mahama promised to end Dumsor, and truly he did, leaving the nation with excess megawatts of power at the end of his first term in office. This nation builder is a unifier. John Mahama's leadership transcends ethnicity, family, and friends, one whose message resonates with the upper class right through to the grassroots of our society. Same can be said about his communication prowess. It's unrivaled. This year's elections will be about track record. Second is trust. The writings are clear on the wall. The records never lie. Fellow Ghanaians, the choice is ours to make. Fellow Ghanaians, presenting John Dramani Mahama.
na wawa na so yai na wa freye webu yembio etina wa ja ni badon bebre na wawa.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. My wife and life partner, Lordina Dramani Mahama, Professor Nana Jane Opoku Agyemang, our 2020 running mate, Alhaji Mahama Idrisu, representing our founder, Jerry John Rawlings, and our Council of Elders, our National Chairman, our General Secretary, Right Honorable Second Deputy Speaker, Right Honorable former Speaker of Parliament, the Honorable Minority Leader, Chairman and members of our National Campaign Team for Election 2020, members of our National Executive Committee, my media friends, our invited guests, party activists and foot soldiers, assorted professional groups, ladies and gentlemen, on a day like this, we can't help but remember many of our comrades who have contributed their quota to bring us to this point, but who no longer are with us. The list is too long, but I acknowledge in particular my teacher, my friend, my comrade, my mentor, Professor John Evans Atta Mills, of blessed memory, my able Vice President, Pakwesi Emisa Arthur, many other of our departed faithful, Kobnai J, our former chairman, Dr. and Mrs. Mary Grant, and so many others who are not with us today. We acknowledge them, we salute them, and may their souls rest in perfect peace. This world is changing fast. Terrorism, racial tensions, and lately COVID-19 are throwing up new challenges that are testing the quality of leadership of every nation. The stress tests nations are going through are revealing fissures based on developmental models and paradigms used by those countries. In many cases, countries considered relatively less advanced with smaller economies are emerging more resilient and less affected by the global shocks than some countries that are considered advanced. The case of Vietnam, a relatively smaller country bordering China, and therefore closer to the original source of the coronavirus pandemic, has survived much better with relatively less infections and deaths than known global superpowers. Therefore, never in the history of the world has the quality of a country's leadership been more critical to its survival than now. Leadership that has been proactive and visionary have emerged from the shocks with less effects on their people and economies. Unfortunately, I cannot say the same for our beloved country, Ghana. Our economy is in tatters and, as I said, in intensive care, and we are on track to post the highest ever fiscal deficit in our history since the beginning of the Fourth Republic. Excessive borrowing over the last 4 years have placed Ghana in a high debt risk category with absolutely nothing to show for it. Job losses are at an all-time high, with layoffs and business collapses becoming the order of the day. The capital and lifetime savings of small businesses and households have been eroded by the not too well thought through financial sector cleanup. Business confidence is at an all-time low, with many Ghanaian businesses struggling to stay afloat. Ghanaians are tired and hungry. While an elite few have access to all the opportunities the nation has to offer, our institutions have been politicized, and there's a gradual erosion of our democratic space. Government has clearly failed to contain the COVID virus and has given up providing timely statistics and data on the status of COVID-19 in our nation. Despite the huge resources that have been made available to Ghana by the IMF, the World Bank, and withdrawals from our stabilization fund, government has failed in its COVID-19 alleviation and containment program. Public education has been poor. Food distribution during the lockdown was chaotic and disorderly. Protective gear remains in short supply, thereby putting our frontline health workers at risk. It is critical that we rescue Ghana from the abyss into which it is sinking. My comrades and friends, we must prepare Ghana to cope with the current global challenges. We must open new horizons and new hopes to instill a new sense of purpose in our people, catching up on what we have missed while taking steps to enhance our growth. We must place Ghana in sync with the new developments taking place around the world, in order that we prepare our economy to become an advanced one. To achieve this, we must build a knowledge-based economy and move faster into the new world of smart manufacturing and digital services. This will generate not only growth, but prosperity for all Ghanaians. We'll create not only jobs, but sustainable and decent jobs, so that people can live prosperous and dignified lives. We must put Ghanaian businesses at the center of our economic growth. It is only when Ghanaian businesses thrive that our economy can grow and create jobs and prosperity for our people. We must create equal opportunities for all Ghanaian businesses and not deal with them based on political color or family affiliation of their owners. My brothers and sisters, I've had the unique and humbling privilege of providing leadership as president, stepping back, and being elected again to lead the National Democratic Congress into the December 2020 elections. It has therefore given me the opportunity during this period to reflect soberly on the challenges and expectations of governance and the heavy burden of people's hopes and aspirations that come with it. Ghana cannot afford to do things the old way. Survival and success for today and the future generations require a much more urgent and, in many cases, substantial change to prevailing economic and social relations. Ghana needs a new era of social justice. It is time for renewal and coming together. It is time for greater self-reliance. It is time to close the wealth gap that divides our society and create greater equality amongst our people. It is time to finally end intolerance and social discrimination against ethnic groups, religious groups, gender and age groups. It is time to end repression of the media. It is time to unite and create opportunities for all our people and not just a privileged few. It is time to do this democratically with the full involvement of all our people. With this in mind, we set out to develop the People's Manifesto, a social contract between the NDC and the people of Ghana. To make our manifesto writing process widely consultative and popular, we adopted a bottom-up approach. In addition to internal consultations within the NDC, with our grassroots organs engaged, their communities, we forwarded their expectations to our Manifesto Committee for Inclusion. I was also privileged to hold town hall meetings with representatives of different socioeconomic groupings. I sought to derive a consensus on what the new NDC government must do and how we must do it, and what role citizens want to play in our forward march. I want to thank all the professional groups that gave us a hearing and contributed meaningfully to this document that we're going to launch today. The idea was to distill this knowledge that we acquired from them and make a commitment in our manifesto to the people of Ghana. Our consultative process was interrupted by the COVID-19 pandemic. We did not, however, abandon our objectives. We continued using technology and small group meetings to further these consultations. 6 months later, the pandemic is spreading even faster, with more disruptive effects on our life than the current government had anticipated. From all indications, COVID-19 will continue to plague the world for some time to come. But this manifesto lays the foundation for the renewal of our institutions and progress for all. It is my hope that you will identify the ideals of our People's Manifesto and vote for John Mahama and for the great NDC team and engage us with a view to holding us to our commitment on program delivery. I believe that there are great times ahead for our people. All of us, myself included, learned a lot of valuable lessons during the period of preparing this manifesto. The most important was the growing and humbling understanding of the fact that the December elections will be unlike any other election in our recent history. It will be an election of destiny. It will be an election of the future. It will be an election of the future of our children and our grandchildren. This election will be about the very soul of a new Ghana. Our historic mission right now is to provide our fellow Ghanaians with the opportunity to become a part of tomorrow's world and offer our beloved country a clear chance to spread prosperity to all our people and move into the status of an advanced middle-income country within the next 5 years. It is possible together. We can do it with the right and dedicated leadership. We owe it to our wonderful people to create new job opportunities, to bring new skills, and to provide better chances for everyone so that all of us will be able to live a dignified life. It is time now, my brothers and sisters. That time is now. The change we all desire starts now. Let us all join hands to create the country that we wish for. May God bless our homeland, Ghana. May God bless each and every one of us. May God make our country great and strong. And so, at this point, I'll take you through a few highlights of our manifesto. Not in any particular order. NDC is a social democratic party. We subscribe to a compassionate political philosophy, and we believe in social justice. We create opportunities for all to develop to their fullest potential. We focus on an inclusive effort to safeguard the jobs of today and create sustainable jobs for the future. Our manifesto is our social contract with the people of Ghana, and we will create a bright future for Ghana and for every Ghanaian. Our priorities are to build a sustainable society with opportunities for all, to promote human development, to continue to prioritize healthcare, quality education, and skills training as the cornerstone for progress and prosperity. The US $10 billion accelerated infrastructure plan, dubbed the Big Push, will create jobs for the multitude of our people. Will provide infrastructure for accelerated development and will fix the economy as we unite against poverty. Create sustainable jobs under our Ejumapa program. Promote good governance, integrity, anti-corruption, transparency and accountability, and deepen the international relations amongst our sister nations. Uniting against poverty, that is the economy. Ghana's economy is not working for the people, it's working for only a few. Ghana's economy is not working for the people, it's working for only a few. We will fix the economy and make it work for all Ghanaians. We'll fight the disastrous effect of the poor economic management of this administration. The NDC has the experience to turn around this dire economic situation to bring relief to the suffering masses of Ghana. We will sanitize the financial sector. On the macro front, unprecedented mounting public debt, depreciating cedi, amongst others, are all a telltale sign of an economy in deep distress. We will roll out prudent macroeconomic measures anchored in sound management. We will bring the public debt under control. We will stabilize and strengthen the long-suffering cedi, reduce inflation, ensure a low progressive taxation regime, and restore inclusive growth. We will make the business environment friendly again, provide unprecedented job-related stimulus packages for the private sector, and most importantly, increase Ghanaian participation and stake in our economy. And we'll put an end to the vindictive targeting and collapse of Ghanaian businesses and its attendant job losses. We've done all this before. We ensured the most stable and prosperous period of economic management in Ghana's history. We ensured the highest ever GDP growth rate in the history of Ghana. We ensured the longest sustained period of single-digit inflation in economic management in the history of Ghana. We implemented fiscal prudence and for the first time managed the 2016 budget with zero borrowing from the central bank. The NDC established the Ghana Exim Bank to promote jobs and exports. The NDC will again generate economic growth that creates infrastructure and sustainable jobs. We will usher Ghana into an era of shared prosperity, and all Ghanaians will reap the fruits of their labor. We need to turn our beloved country, Ghana, into an advanced one, and we must eradicate poverty. It is possible, and we will do it. How will we achieve these targets? How will we achieve these targets? We will exempt small businesses from paying corporate and personal income tax. That is to re-inject their profits back into the businesses. We estimate that this will involve about 1.4 billion Ghana cedis a year. And that will be the best stimulus you can inject back in order to expand small and medium enterprises. For medium-sized Ghanaian businesses, we will reduce the corporate income tax rate from 25% to 15% in order to give them breathing room to be able to reinvest in and grow their businesses. But very interesting, we will exempt newly established medium-sized companies that employ up to 20 people or 20 workers from paying corporate income tax for the first year when they are establishing the business. This is important because the most critical time in establishing a business is the first year when you are investing. And when you are investing, it's not the right time for government to come asking you to bring money. And so we will give them that relief. And for businesses that employ 20 or more medium-sized businesses, they will get corporate tax exemption for 2 years so that they can establish the business properly and expand the business to employ more people. We'll exempt commercial vehicles and other commercial equipment imported into the country from commercial, industrial, and agricultural purposes from import duty. We will review the Customs Amendment Act 2020, that's Act 1014, to scrap the law banning the importation of salvage vehicles to scrap I think Thank you. To scrap the law banning the importation of salvage vehicles and the proposed imposition of a 35% import duty rate. We are going to scrap it, and in order that salvage vehicles are not banned, and the top duty rate that government proposes to impose on these vehicles does not happen. This is to save the local automotive industry, so that our people in Swami Magazine, Konkompe, Abose Okai, Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Thank you. This is to allow our people in the local automotive industry in Swami Magazine, Konkombe, Abosokai, to continue to work to earn a decent living. We encourage vehicle assembly plants investing in Ghana as a complement to our local industry, not to cancel out our local industry. We will reverse the decoupling of VAT 12.5%, NHIL 2.5%, Get Fund 2.5%, which has brought untold hardship onto Ghanaian businesses and households. We will introduce a rural investor incentive package to create meaningful employment opportunities for the youth, especially in rural areas, and investors in rural communities. Under this program, they will be exempted from dividend and capital gains tax. And then B, if they employ up to 50 persons, they will be granted tax exemptions and further incentives on the importation of capital equipment. We'll provide special tax incentives for indigenous value chain industries such as mineral processing, petroleum-based industries, agro-based, pulp and paper industries in order to unlock sustainable job opportunities. Among others, we'll review the Rent Act to provide tax incentives to landlords and real estate investors to reduce the cost of rent advances for residential and commercial purposes. Restructure the Rent Control Office into a Ghana Rent Authority to effectively implement the new Rent Act in the interest of tenants and landlords. We will increase the District Assembly's Common Fund back to 7.5% from the 5% that the current government has put it. This will make sure that enough revenue goes to the district assemblies to function effectively and provide adequately for people in the decentralized districts, and also for people with disabilities. We'll promote local content for local contractors in all sectors of the economy to increase the contribution of Ghanaians to a minimum of 55% of GDP and improve Ghanaian ownership and participation of our economy. Amend the Public Procurement Act to give priority to Ghanaian businesses in the award of contracts financed from public funds. Within a year in office, we will pay the full amount due every victim of the reckless handling of the financial sector cleanup. Conduct a forensic audit on the entire financial sector cleanup exercise, including the Ghana Amalgamated Trust. Set up a financial services authority to regulate the financial service industry, protect consumers, and ensure fair competition in the financial service sector. Ensure a well-tiered financial system to cater for the various segments of the market, such as SMEs. The idea behind this is you don't need every bank to have a capital reserve of 400 million. So we'll create several tiers so that there will be banks that want to lend to small and medium enterprises, and a capital reserve of 100 million will be enough for them. Amend the National Pensions Act 2008, Act 766, to improve both service delivery and financial efficiency, such as COVID-19 pandemic, to be paid stipends while they search for a new job. And this is important. Allow workers who have contributed for a minimum period of 10 to 15 years to use their contribution as collateral to access mortgage loans for housing. We will pay pensioners We will pay pensioners, and they'll be happy about this, an annual 13th month bonus. Under the Ghana Framework for Industrial Revitalization, Support and Transformation, which we call Ghana First, we will boost the real sector of the economy. And the 16 strategic growth areas are going to be agriculture and agro-processing, pharmaceuticals, health tourism, light manufacturing, including apparels, accessories, and assemblages, educational service exports, financial services, furniture, ICT business services and logistics, oil and gas petroleum sector, strategic minerals, including salt, tourism, tree crop development, coastal landscape and forest management, afforestation, infrastructure, construction, waste management and recycling, and high-tech manufacturing, including chemicals. To stimulate economic growth and create opportunities for sustainable jobs through agri-business, we will realign the Ministry of Food and Agriculture into a Ministry of Agriculture and Agribusiness. This is to capture the full value chain, because we've concentrated only on production, and when we have produced, we don't have the capacity to process the produce and make them available to the market. We'll put Ghana on the path of self-sufficiency in the production of commodities and also for exports. We'll delineate agro-production and processing zones for medium to large-scale production. These include examples like Brong Ahafo is the leading producer of cashew nuts, but yet we don't have an active cashew processing capacity in Brong Ahafo. And so we'll put that in. There are places that are good at ginger production. We'll process the ginger into ginger powder, ginger oil for export. There are places that are producing rice. We'll put rice milling equipment so that we can mill the rice for the local market and, if possible, for export. Provide micro-processing equipment to farmers, to farmer cooperatives. For instance, in the palm oil growing area, if you give a group of farmers, a cooperative, a small processing mill to be able to process their palm oil for the market, it will add value to what they are doing. In the cocoa sector, cocoa processing for value addition will ensure the processing of at least 50% of our cocoa beans locally before we export. We'll restore the distribution of fertilizer inputs and free fertilizer inputs and seedlings to cocoa farmers. Support small cocoa processing companies and artisanal cocoa products, process and market finished and semi-finished cocoa products, in addition to raw cocoa beans, amongst many others. Government support to pharmaceutical industries. Roll out a pharmaceutical industry financial and technical support program. We've done this in the past. When I was president, we financed the pharmaceutical industries to the tune of 50 million Ghana cedis, and it enables some of them to be able to begin to export into the sub-regional market. We will enhance this so that Ghana becomes a hub for pharmaceutical manufacturing in West Africa. We'll develop a national policy to restructure the small-scale mining sector. We'll set up what we call a gold board. This board will be responsible for small-scale mining sector to provide mining support services, and especially in the area of safety. We will attach mining safety officers and graduates from the University of Mines and Technology to all small-scale mining companies to ensure that they do the mining in safety and according to the regulations. We'll train small-scale miners in land reclamation techniques as a critical component of their operations. We'll promote legally and properly regulated, operated medium and small-scale mining to become attractive and well-paid business ventures, creating jobs for our youth. We'll reissue confiscated legitimate mining licenses to miners. For persons whose mining concessions have been illegitimately seized, we shall return the concessions to the legitimate owners. We will track down and take back all excavators that are missing. And we will return the excavators to their rightful owners. We will establish mini gold refineries in the gold-producing regions of our country in conjunction with the private sector. And we will halt the export of unrefined gold produced by small-scale mining companies. The central bank will play a role in financing and certificating high-quality gold bullion for export. We will hold a portion of our international reserves in gold to help stabilize our economy and our currency. Many other things. I will increase demand for locally manufactured goods, and will use government's purchasing power to stimulate demand for made-in-Ghana goods by directing all MDAs to patronize made-in-Ghana goods. We'll encourage the private sector to establish marketing companies to service local SMEs and manufacturers. And then it continues. We'll modernize our markets using a mini KJTR model. And so markets like Aflao, Mankesim, Techiman, and others will get a smaller version of a KJTR market. Promote local production of hygiene goods, especially for women, including sanitary pads, through training and support for startups. Revive the textile industry by providing support to local textile companies such as Akosombo and Drop-on Textiles. Establish agro-processing factories in various districts in collaboration with the private sector, such as fruit processing in Lower Manya, cashew processing in Bono and Bono East, amongst others. Now the big push, 10 billion big push. And I'll rush through this very quickly. The $10 billion big push for infrastructure development and economic transformation will involve an investment of $10 billion over 5 years. It will transform our economy in furtherance of our 1 million jobs plan. Projects under the big push will be executed in all cases by Ghanaian registered companies that pay their taxes in Ghana. This is to ensure that the money circulates within Ghana. And so if you want to participate, your business should be registered in Ghana and pay taxes in Ghana. These investments will stimulate and grow indigenous Ghanaian businesses. The 10 billion investment will be directed to stimulate the economy by sourcing as much as possible locally available materials and products for the execution of the projects. Now, key areas under the big push: provide infrastructure for agriculture and agribusiness, such as warehouses, silos, irrigation dams, farmer service centers, etc. Develop regional digital and innovation centers. Develop 5G technology. Upgrade and dualize all our major national roads. Complete the Eastern and Western Corridor roads. Upgrade other major national highways, urban and feeder roads. Expand the railway network by implementing the 2014 Railway Master Plan. Construct a domestic airport in Upper East Region. The land was secured when I was president, and it's a project that we will continue. Extend the runway of the Kumasi International Airport to accommodate bigger aircraft. Upgrade the Sunyani Airport. Engineer and construct major markets, starting with Aflao, Mankesim, Techiman, Kintampo, Sampa, Elubu, Nima, and Asesewa. Construct social housing in all districts of the country. Expand rural electrification. Water supply, sewage, and sanitation systems. Complete all abandoned hospital and health projects. Construct new district and regional polyclinics, health centers, and CHIPS compounds in all the districts. Construct 2 new infectious disease centers. Expand the 37 military hospital as the national emergency center. Complete all the E-blocks and the abandoned community day secondary schools. Construct new schools at the basic level by removing schools under trees and other substandard schools. Provide universities in the new regions that do not have any. Build modern theaters and studios for the development and promotion of the creative arts. Complete feasibility and continue the implementation of a specialized port on the eastern seaboard of our country, and that refers to Keita. Construct a multi-purpose convention and exhibition center aimed at repositioning Ghana as West Africa's destination for meetings, conferences, and exhibitions. Refurbish the National Theatre. Upgrade NAFTI into a fully fledged multimedia university for film, arts, theatre, and music. Upgrade the National Sports College into a state-of-the-art sports university to serve the West African sub-region. Provide sports development facilities across the region, including stadia, mini stadia, and other facilities. Upgrade infrastructure linking tourism sites. Complete and operationalize the Swami and Dawa industrial parks. Establish new industrial parks and free zones in the industry-deprived regions. And under the 1 million jobs plan, which we have christened Ejumapa, will generate an average of 250,000 decent jobs every year. Our job creation policies would be rapidly deployed through needed interventions that are applied to ensure that all sectors of the economy give priority to the creation of sustainable and decent jobs. The 1 million jobs will be anchored on the big push, an aggressive infrastructure development for jobs. The 10 billion investment over 5 years will stimulate the economy and provide opportunities for businesses to grow, create new entrepreneurs, and employ more people. A national apprenticeship program to train technically skilled human resources for rapid industrialization, job creation, and entrepreneurship will be implemented. NAP, as we call it, will target 500,000 out-of-school youth, including Kayaye. Government will bear the cost of fees for their training, and they'll receive start-up kits on completion of their training. What this means is that we'll register master craftsmen in all the districts around the country. We'll register youth that are interested in going as apprentices to learn a skill, and we'll pay the master craftsmen to train them, and when they are finished, we'll give them the kits that they need to start work, whether sewing machines or hair dryers. Through a number of tax exemptions, micro, small, and medium enterprises will be able to plow back their profits, drive the digitization of the economy to provide new jobs, encourage establishment of new businesses, focusing on exports to help create more job opportunities, provide free training in coding to young people across the country, engage a minimum of 300,000 beneficiaries under the Youth Employment Agency, focus on skills acquisition, legalize and regulate Okada, legalize and regulate Okada business in order to make it safer and be an avenue for employment. Convert the Labour Office into a national employment center with offices in all the regions. Persons seeking jobs can register online, and employers who recruit from the National Employment Center database will receive tax incentives. It will also compile and maintain a national employment dashboard to track the number of jobs created every year. And getting to the end, social housing. Roll out social housing, I said that already, in every district. implement a national mortgage assistance scheme, and rent-to-pay agreements over 15 to 20 years. So if you are working and you have between 15 and 20 years to the end of your working life, you can be allocated one of the houses. The money you'd have paid for rent, you use it to pay and own the house. The mortgages will be priced in cedis, not in dollars, so that we insulate the house owners from the escalating value of the dollar. The rest is expand GIFEC to create a digital economy development fund to promote entrepreneurs with emphasis on youth and females. So GIFEC will help young entrepreneurs who want to go into digital services. Roll out a solid digital infrastructure to generate incremental value of more than 5 billion in a year. Develop a digital Ghana master plan. Ensure the efficient transfer of digital technologies and skills to unleash the innovative and entrepreneurial potentials of our young people. Commence the building of a national information highway, that's the Ghana Broadband Network, which utilizes 5G and fiber optic technologies. Move to an affordable universal licensing regime, including 5G, that allows flexibility for telecom companies to tap into new technologies. Identify and support young people to develop e-applications to support the delivery of public services. Introduce a uniform transactions fee to guide the electronic payments industry. Migrate all persons to government payments onto electronic platforms. This is to speed up the achievement of a cashless society. And so these are some of the programs planned. There are many. It's a quite detailed manifesto. And so I'll take a break here, and I'll invite my running mate to go through some portions on human development, and then after that, I will come and wrap up. Nana.
I agree with that the free CRI school was rushed. Meanwhile, the implementations and its necessary things that are supposed to support it were not there. That makes it to be rushed. If this implementation that Mahama is talking about, that is going to review it and do it well, I think it will be good if it does, because he never abolished it of the free HS, the word free HS. He never abolished it, but rather is going to add more value to it.
Yes, sir, and say our classmates on him. And so I call the same school, them other school that is here, we call Ashama, we found Wakwan, so a bit. You can be saying me to them, coach, and say, I buy Sika.
John Mahama Boshana, Osha say about power over no. In a Damakuma Super about is about school children, no, 3 SHFs, you know. Okase, can say Oba, Obayani ye, but I'm a frontier here, also about Obey no. Our sister and Kolamuko school now. If you move this time, you remember this time, no, and you're sure about any year. You're known as Damakumasu.
Yes, it was a good initiative, but it was not planned very well before they brought it out. It was not planned at all. And if I can recollect, a lot of people, the former president, Kufuor's brother, complained about it. A lot of people complained about it, but he went ahead and implemented it with our plans. The school has been piled that they now let people go.
Thank you very much for the kind welcome. Your Excellency, Please allow me to refer to the protocol already established and to thank everybody for being here, those who are physically here, those who are watching from elsewhere. We are very grateful for your attention. Today is September 7th, and we are exactly 3 months away from the 2020 presidential and parliamentary elections. This election will be historic in many ways. It will be the first time that such an election has been conducted in the midst of a global pandemic. It will be decided by the largest electorate in the nation's history. It will be the first in the Fourth Republic to be contested by a former president, and the first in which a major party's ticket will feature a woman. But the moment also brings with it another more important, more urgent historical milestone, and that should guide our priorities as a people and shape the focus of our government in the years to come. This will be the youngest electorate in the history of this nation. 7 out of every 10 people who registered to cast a ballot on December 7th were born about a decade before the Fourth Republic. Nearly half of them have only ever known Ghana as a multi-party democracy. Isn't that interesting? And so, in many ways, this election is about the future of the many millions who make up a rising generation with grand global aspirations for themselves, for their culture, and for their country. It is their ambitions, their energies, and their self-belief that will write the next chapters in Ghana's history. The future of this nation, its fortunes, and its very fate hinges on their ability to attain their fullest potential. The passion, positivity, and promise of the youth are the fuel for any serious agenda for the future of this country. It is for this reason that we must be invested in the success of the teeming youth of this country, while we must be absolutely relentless in our determination to create a social, economic, cultural, and political environment that allows them to prosper and live dignified lives in a nation they can be proud of. And in many respects, it is about jobs, sustainable jobs. We cannot guarantee them, the youth, equality of outcomes, but we should certainly guarantee them equality of opportunity. This is the commitment of the People's Manifesto. The reason why we were not swayed by the criticism that by going to the people, and the people, the list includes the chiefs, the artisans, students, farmers, traders, teachers, market women, professionals, and so on, and inviting them to be active participants in policies that will affect their own lives meant that the NDC lacked ideas. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, do allow me to state that any plan that excludes the agency of the recipient is at best an alienating effort. As a party that respects people regardless, our manifesto must perforce carry the voices and hopes of our people, who will eventually own the outcomes. The easiest process would have been to lock a few people in a room for a couple of weeks, backed by consultants who have no clues, who sometimes have no clue as to the concrete reality of the life of the people of our country, and then call the outcome a manifesto for Ghana. At the core of the consensus expressed was human development. And distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the economy is about human development, no more, no less. It is about building a strong, well-educated, healthy country that protects the vulnerable, creates and sustains spaces for the aspirations of everyone to develop to their full potential, and rightly so. For Ghana can only rise to the challenges and opportunities of the 21st century if we face it with the full complement of our ingenuity and talent. And we can only do it if we eliminate the barriers of gender, geography, poverty that exclude so many people from reaching their potential. This, my friends and countrymen, is the work of the next 4 years and a prerequisite for the future that lies beyond. We owe it to our youth, especially to their determination to succeed, their ambitions, unlimited energies and intellectual prowess that one finds everywhere in our country, to help raise their levels of confidence to believe that they can overcome their general current cynicism and pervading frustration and become hopeful. And we know that the disappointments and disillusionment of the last few years means we must proffer concrete plans and not just promises. We will not offer our youth charity. We will collectively work towards making them truly independent. This explains everybody's involvement in crafting this manifesto, especially the voices of our youth. This is the commitment of the People's Manifesto to the youth of Ghana. The manifesto highlights. Please permit me to share the highlights of the wishes of the people, of our people, in these critical areas, beginning with education. The underlying principles reside in the conviction that every Ghanaian, regardless, deserves quality, relevant education with a thrust towards inclusive education, lifelong learning that admits varying skills and competencies. We don't all have to do the same thing. We have a plan for education. The next NDC government will commence the Next Generation Education Initiative. This is a program that will enable the Ghana Education Service to provide basic and senior high school students access to interactive remote learning. This investment, and actually we started that in our previous term with the iCampus Ghana and the iBox. This investment in the future will enhance the availability of digital learning resources for schools by integrating technology into the learning environment, ensuring universal internet access to these institutions, and providing students and teachers with devices. We intend to bring our education system into the 21st century. These tools and technologies will facilitate digital teaching and learning and keep teachers and students connected in and out of the classroom. Most importantly, it will improve the quality of education. It will encourage intellectual curiosity, and it will help us close the inequalities.
Welcome to The Point of View. This is your favorite current affairs show, television, and as you can see, new coverage of the Opposition National Democratic Congress manifesto launch. We are here at the University for Professional Studies, UPSA, in Accra. We just interrupted the speech of the running mate of the party, Professor Jane Nan.